Well, let's see what we got here. Alrighty. Welcome everyone to SofaKingdom76 channel. Basically, haven't been live in a while, so basically, video that says this is a proof of life. Yes, I'm still alive, and thank you for joining me. Basically, no matter how busy you get in life, no matter what people discard as not useful, there's always more to give. So today we're going to take and revive some of these, and we're going to repackage them, and then we're going to bundle them up in one big bouquet, and then hey, they are repurposed. They always have some kind of way to be repurposed. Just like all of us, there's always a purpose, and when you live with that mentality of there's always something that we can do, then we don't stand stagnant, and we don't just let time pass us by. We pull ourselves up and we get on to the next task. So if you're here, thank you for joining me. If you pass through, that's fine as well. You can catch me up later. So we're gonna go ahead and get some of this all settled. We're making a mess here, so don't mind me not reading chat. It's just I'm trying to get this done in a timely manner. I don't want to spend all day doing this, so. Yep. Falling petals, broken buds, broken stems, stuff like this. When times get hard, the same thing. You feel like you're beaten up. Well, guess what? Deep inside, you can revive and, make things better. So, you got all this plant food. So just like humans, plants need food, and they need water, and they need air. So as they're waiting around for a purpose, and then they get discarded. So the lesson in that is, well, don't wait around until you become useful. How about we get out there and be active? The more action we take, even if we do make mistakes, the more probability, the more chances we have on doing things. So I'm gonna take some of this, get all the white ones out here. These are baby's breath flowers, basically for added decoration. We're gonna add this to the mist. We're gonna take some of this and some of that, mix it all up in different ways, and let's see what we what we come up to. So some of this stuff, look at that. Broken to someone, the store, and we're gonna repurpose, and we're gonna rebundle, and we're gonna redirect, we're gonna adapt and overcome, and we're gonna get this looking good, and we're gonna be developing a new way forward for this. So let me get a trash can because I'm literally making a mess over here. One sec. Alright. Got a trash can. Start throwing some of these thorns, you know. So, you know, we're just doing a quick inspection, you know. I mean, we're just giving it some needed attention. And throughout life, you have to do that sometimes. You have to inspect and not just expect. Because when you expect everything, you set your standards so high that when they come short of those expectations, then you feel like, you know, disappointed. But if you inspect the things and you make adjustments, and then you're able to reposition, redirection, and make more purpose. So we're just, you know, same thing as, you know, anything in life. Your kids, your job, if you have a position of authority, let's just take it as a family. So, you know, you teach and you want the best for everything. Look at that, broken. So, like I said, you know, store, somebody, you know, discards it. Well, like I said, we are, you know, finding beauty even in the things that have been damaged, and we're going to, you know, reposition, you know, focus. You know, I'm sure even, you know, broken petals, you know, all we do is hold, we take them out. These are repurposable. You could take these, make, dry them out, make potpourri, you know, put them in a little container, and then as they dry out, they still smell like flowers. That's, you know, you got candles, you have potpourri, a whole bunch of dry flowers. So, all right, let's get some system going on here. We're going to inspect them, and we're going to reposition them to the table behind me. So we're basically, you know, looking around, and that still looks good, you know. So we're gonna position these back here on this table here. Once we got a whole bunch of them, then we're gonna have a whole new bouquet. And instead of being just red and pink, I'm gonna make one big bouquet similar to this, but you're gonna have some pinks and reds and purples and like, you know, a little bit of orangish pink, and they're all gonna be mixed up. So right now we're just looking at them. I'm no florist, I'm not a botanist or whatever they're called, and I'm just, you know, you feel like, oh, this guy's cheap, you know, he might be taking all the dead flowers and, you know, repurposing them. Well, guess what? The more you pinch pennies and work hard in your earlier years, then you can be like me and relax in your older years. So people think that they have to keep up with the Joneses and always buy, you know, brand new, and then when brand new is, you know, a couple years old and you're doing maintenance like every car needs, you know, I could take a car that's 5 to 10 years old or even older and do some maintenance on it, and it'll still last for another 5 years. But when your new car lasts only 5 years or less, and then you're trying to turn it in and you know, you discard it, well, guess what? Someone like me who's able to, you know, find a purpose and find beauty in it will be there to, you know, to keep it going. And then after many years of doing that, you see that maybe those people that were always frugal, or, you know, those people, they're the ones that, you know, finally start getting stuff, accumulating stuff, and they didn't spend a lot over all those years. Imagine every 5 years, trying to get a brand new car, you spend 25, 30,000, 40,000, trucks, you know, 50,000, 60,000, you know, whatever the prices are. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up, you know, with materialistic things, and trying to, you know, always have the newest and the greatest and everything. And then as time passes you by, those things will come and gone, and the money will be gone. But all the money that you save over the years, if you just put that aside in a retirement fund, in the savings, investing, all of that stuff that you put away right now because you're working hard in those years, all those years of savings, compound interest. And over time, the slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And then that's the thing that will accumulate. In the years that you cannot work, your business, your investments, your savings, they will continue to work. So the hours that you're sleeping, those investments, those, you know, savings and everything like that, they have the ability to continue to work and multiply. Looks like I'm gonna restack these up, restack them up a little bit, but we're almost halfway done. And I'd be doing it a little bit quicker if I wasn't, you know, I'm kind of wanting to look at chat, but I'm not, so. But like I said, just going through the motions here, you know. And so, even though I do this, you know, like I said, the package of food, the water, and then about every couple days, you're going to be looking at this, and you can reposition them and purdy them up, and then about 4 or 5 days or whatever, if you cut these at an angle, make sure that they're not just straight across and you don't, you know, tear them or whatever. But if you cut them at an angle, put them back in the water, you would be surprised that flowers, even though they dwindle down, they can last, you know, a couple of weeks. And if they get to a point where you still, for some reason, you know, you just, you know, sentimental value, the person who gave them to you, for some reason you want to turn them into a whole bunch of, you know, potpourri later, or you hang them upside down and they dry in this position. Instead of being dwindled and, you know, turned over, you can turn them upside down, let them dry, and then they become a dry flower arrangement. And if you got something for a prom, you know, a special day, and you want to, you know, have it for a memento, you can put them in a scrapbook. You can, flatten them out under some heavy books. And then, you could do so many more things. You can dip it in some nice colorful acrylic. I'm not going to go through, all the things. This is just my mind, thinking. But what I'm just doing is taking something that was pretty much discarded and pretty much discarded. When they go on sale at the store, because nobody's buying them because they might look less appealing. Well, if you do just a couple of them, right? Just a couple, and right there, look, right there, we're already looking a lot better, and it still is going to open. And when it opens in a couple of days, it's gonna be a full open rose, All right, here we go. Speeding up, just quick looking, because the person who receives this, they will also, in a couple days, they'll probably, do their little thing. They'll cut the things, put it back in food, some food powder, whatever, water, and then they will be able to maintain them. I'm just, showing the quickness of it. But if you want to really maintain them, then you can look at them every couple days while they're sitting in your house, Or, like I said, cut them off. Pull all the petals. You can make a bed of roses. Haha, like this song. Was that Bon Jovi or Journey? One of those guys sing that song, The Bed of Roses. All right. You can make some rose petals for your bath, You can do a lot of things. This one's nice and opened already. And that's what all of them will start to look like. So if there's a little spot right here, that's fine. Watch. Even if I take one out now, see? Look at that. These ones, all these already dwindled down. Let's go ahead. Boom, boom. Look at that. Already cleaned it up. Pull off some of these thorns, the thorns that, poke everybody. Here we go. Boom. Right there. See? Look at that. Look at that. Already looking good. This one here is fine. Pulling all these. If you don't want to be poked every time, then go ahead and put some gloves on. But, I'm just kind of pushing them to the side, and then they break off. So. Here. All right, let's see what we got. Still got half the way to go, but I'm gonna go ahead and do some stuff here. We're gonna take all the ones that we had already inspected. So we inspected these, right? And they already look good, but we're going to add, I'm gonna add some baby's breath in there, right? So take some of that, put it in there. Take another one, put it in here like this, and that kind of changes it up a little bit, right? So if you want those to be in the middle versus, just being on the side, well, then we reposition the flowers a little bit. And then we have some on top. And then we have some here in the middle. And then if we take additional ones after we get these ones ready, and we put these in here like this. Yeah. So we're going to continue preparing this, and then we'll get all of this ready. All right, how many minutes we got? Usually I like to keep these short. Like I said, this was kind of spin on words. This is a proof of life. You know, basically you haven't seen me in a while. So I just wanted to do a video real quick and then, you know, chit chat. But I'm not doing much. I'm doing all the chit chatting. I'm not really reading a lot of the comments. Actually, there's nobody in here, so it doesn't really require me to read the comments because there's nobody in here. So I'm just going to continue picking away at what I'm doing. Like I said, something that was discarded because it was either broke or starting to dwindle. We have, you know, even leaves, you know, like this. Like I said, repurpose. All you have to do is, you know, like that. In a couple of days, this will continue to open back up, and then you will have another that'll open up, and it'll still look like a full rose, you know. These thorns, basically, we're just pushing them to the side and they break off. You know, things that aren't in the right position. Let's go ahead and just, you know, go ahead and remove it or take it down, you know. Ones that are broken. We're gonna repurpose these. We can dry them and make potpourri like I said earlier, you know. Throw them in your bath. And if you can't save them all, then you go ahead and remove all the petals. And then now you have more petals for your smell good, your potpourri, your dried flowers, you know. So those of you that have joined us, thank you. We're at about 25 minutes. We've had a couple of people just pop in and pop out. But if you comment, then your comment stays here so we can see, you know, who is in. But I don't expect anyone to stay here the full amount of time. Usually I keep my stream short. The main message was there's always a purpose. And even though some things are discarded for, you know, being broken or whatever, you can always find purpose. These can be dried out, used for potpourri, smell goods, bath, put them on your bed as a romantic thing. Dry them out, keep them for a long time. Dried flower arrangements, you know, hang them upside down. They'll dry this way, and then they'll be good. Whenever you put them back up like this, you can still put them in a vase and have them for a long time, you know. And then even when they are sitting there in water and whenever they have their food source, every couple days you can look at them. Go ahead and cut them at an angle so that they have fresh stem. If you cut them right here at an angle, then when you put them back in the water, they'll be able to feed better, you know. So just anything that, you know, even though it's open, it looks fine. But if this is the one that you want to remove, go ahead and save that one. But now it still looks good and there's no brown. And when this one opens up, it'll still be a full rose. And then after you inspect all of these, you rebundle them up and you add some baby's breath in there, and you remake them, you know. So you add these, put some more flowers on the bottom here, and then it becomes one big bouquet. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3. We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different colors, and when we bundle them all up, they're gonna make a big bouquet. I'm halfway done, and this right here still looks like a bouquet. So even if after I inspect all of these ones have thorns, right? So they still poking me right now. So let me pull that one out. For example, this one here. All right, example, this one broke, kind of dwindled up with the leaves and stuff. So many thorns that are poking. So let's go ahead and just push these to the side. They pop off, and then all the way down the stem, You can use gloves. All right, so we have one broken here. Go ahead and pull that off. Starting up here, we're gonna take the petal, we're gonna just push it slightly down, and pull off a little bit, it comes off. Repurpose, throw them in your bath, throw them on the bed, throw them in a little pouch, let them dry out, lay them out. When they dry out, put them in a little container for a little potpourri. So we just pulled off like one broken one, right? So still looks good, and it's less brown than it was. And then this right here, whenever it's fully bloomed, it's gonna still look like a full rose. So that means even though somebody else discarded this out, we still have something that is beautiful. We can repurpose it. There's always something that we can use it for. Boom. One doesn't look like the others, so we just clean it up, inspect it, just clean it up a little bit. Clean it up a little bit, look, all the way down. And then, it's not gonna poke anybody. It's gonna look at the top. There's one here that looks like it can go, so move this one, move another one. Boom. Actually, one more. Even though it looks skinny now, it still has more. It's gonna bloom. When it blooms, it's still gonna look like a full rose. In a couple of days, that's gonna fully come out. In a couple of days, you're gonna cut this at an angle. You're gonna add some of this plant food. You're gonna put it back in water, and it's still gonna last you a week. If you keep doing this, it might even last a couple of weeks, you know? Eventually, they'll all open up, and they'll all start looking full. But even though if this one's a little brown, this one is not broke. This one doesn't have anything wrong with it. So I'm gonna keep some full ones, and then some of them that I slim up a little bit, and we're gonna keep them. Full ones and slim ones mixed together. Throw in some of your baby's breath with some flowers, and then you literally have a whole another bouquet, you know. So but of course I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna do it a little bit better than that, and they're gonna look better. So right now we're literally just doing the inspection part. And if you look over here on the back table, that's the ones I've already inspected. And earlier my message was, it's always good, even in life, even with, you know, things that we do, it's always good to take the time to inspect because even in our daily lives, you know, with our kids, with work, with anything, sometimes we always expect a certain outcome. Well, if you don't inspect along the way, then your expectations might fall short and then you're disappointed. So instead of putting all those expectations at a high, you know, always, you know, high, or how about you put out the, you know, purpose or the direction, and then we inspect along the way so that we know things are getting done. All right. So here we go. And like I said, play on words. The title was Proof of Life. Well, I'm alive. I haven't been, you know, doing, of course I'm alive. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I haven't been doing live streams, and I decided let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to just do a quick live stream. This one's a nice, full, even though it's not dwindling. It's not like bent over. It's just nice and full. So whoever the receiver is, they can pull these off in a couple days and it'll look like a brand new rose until it fully comes out. At any time, they can cut the stem, put it into water with the food, and then they can keep it for another couple days. Turn it upside down, let it dry out in this position. Fully dry out, couple of weeks. When you turn this right side up, it'll always be preserved in that position. So, thank you for coming in, everybody. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Cognito Facts, Cognito, Paola. I'll take some time to look at the chat because literally I didn't have anybody in here earlier. Hollywood Stream Sniper. And I think if I don't read stuff now, then when it does become live, I can't go back and read the comments. Is that correct? So I might as well just take the time right now and, you know, read them. Hey, Coffee. Hey, Facts. I wish I had everyone's, you know, name, but it's kind of interesting saying hi, Facts Incognito, and then hey, Hollywood Stream Cyber, hey, Coffee, hey, you know, hey, and all these repent, hey, sinner, hey, Paola. Okay, cool. That's awesome to know that I can continue to read the comments. If it's for a bouquet same day, then you spin the roses to open them up. Ah, okay, cool. So remove some of the beaten down ones and then spin it, and it kind of opens them up. And I just, you know, whoever the receiver is, I like to also let them, you know, be in control of the way forward for these. So I pretty them up right now at a minimum, and then they can do the, you know, putting them in their vase and, you know, decorating it. And, you know, I just don't want to present something unless we inspect it a little bit, and then we go ahead and make sure that we give a good once over. And then some little ones like this is okay, because like everything in life, nothing is perfect. But if I make it a little bit, if I do my part, then, you know, we can't do someone else's part. But if I do my part, at least alrighty, so we got about half a dozen. Actually, there's probably a dozen more here. So like this, like I said, the store discards them, throws them out for broken petals, for you know, not looking so bright. And then all I have to do is just take a couple of these. They can be repurposed as smell goods, you know, potpourri, throw them in your bath, throw them in everything. So let's see. Let's see. After I removed a couple of them, and we have broken leaves, so I removed those. I go ahead and remove the thorns. Let's see what we have. So you say we're gonna spin it. Let's see if it works. So we're gonna spin it a little bit, or should we spin it upside down? Let's see. So we're gonna spin it, spin it, spin it. Hopefully we don't break it. All right. I guess I made it too small. So we're gonna do the natural thing. In a couple of days, these ones will open up. So I didn't want to spin it too much and break it. Or I could have been like, yeah, look, it's working. And then I grabbed this one here, and this one is definitely already open. So then when I show you, you're like, oh my gosh, it worked. All right. Let's see. So again, here we go. Some that are broken, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. And then, okay, some here. And if I remove too much, like I said, you can always just pull the whole thing off. Your snow goods, add it to your bath, throw it on your pillow for, whatever. This one, kind of like a little, like I said, some of them will keep because, nothing's perfect, but anything that's outrageous, then I'm gonna go ahead and, do it and fix it, see? We got a couple right here. Add one more of these. And take a look over here. We got finished product, and then the table that we're still working on over here. But hey, Suzanne. Hey, thanks. Thanks for joining us, Suzanne. We're basically taking things that, people might discard as not useful, doesn't have a purpose. And we're basically saying, hey, even things that might be not good for someone, like a store, they discount these things and then they're like, whatever. So picked up a couple, and we're basically removing just some of the ones that need to be prettied up, and then if I remove too many, because this one looks like it grew that way, so we're gonna leave that one, but just removing one, and then the thorns, and we're gonna cut them at an angle so that they can feed well with the water and the plant food. I mean, even this one, gives it a little bit of character, but just that, because it's brown, it's already poked up right there, and because it's brown on the side right here, if I remove that, it gives it a fresher look. Save these, dry them, put them in your bath, dry them up, put them in your little container, create some smell goods, what they call those potpourri. And I know I've been repeating the same thing. I guess I'm really new at this, doing a live stream, Proof of Life today. I did a live stream because basically I haven't done one in a while, and I just wanted to show that, hey, yep, I'm still doing stuff, but kind of too busy to actually film it. So today I felt like, you know what, this is going to take some time, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it on live stream. We got one that's broken already, so we'll go ahead and clean it up. We inspect the rest of it, and because it's going to be mixed, it's going to be mixed with all these other flowers. So yeah, it doesn't have leaves, but it's going to be mixed with all those other flowers, and it still has room to blossom and grow. And add it to the bunch with some white baby's breath. Put them all together. 4 different color roses with a couple baby's breath. Mix them all together, create one big bouquet, and then give them out. But because of life and privacy and whatever, since I'm not giving these to the public, I'm just going to be giving them to 68 years old, 68 years young mother, and my mother is 78, but we have a mother in the family that is 68, and today, after all of these become re-beautified, if that's even a word, we are going to put them together nicely, and we're going to have a nice outing. We're going to go to dinner and do all this stuff here. Whoa. Take all these thorns off so that we don't get any extra pokes. And what we got? Take off some of these, of course. See all this? Just clean it up. Inspect, clean it up, and any ones that are broken, we just go ahead and remove those. And then do one more time around, and it looks good again. It'll last more than a couple of days. It'll start blooming, it'll start opening up. And then after a couple of days, we'll recut it at an angle. We'll put it back in the water that has the food. And then it'll last a week. And if it starts... Did we lose connection? Got a phone call coming in. I definitely got to get another phone. Like I said, if it shows signs that it's starting to go over or whatever, we can always turn them upside down. Dry them out for a dry flower arrangement. You can do as you wish. And another message that we had today was, it's okay. It's okay to be frugal. It's okay to be self-aware. It's okay to be, some people call it stingy. Some people call it savvy. So whatever your cup of tea is, doesn't bother me, no different. But my thing that worked for me was, over the years, you work hard for your money. You work hard for the things that you want in life. So why not allow those things to work hard for you? If you invest and save and put your money to places that make more money, then someday when you take some time off, a lot of time for me, basically, you are able to take that time off without that financial stress, because you put in all those working years and you were able to develop. And all those years that you hustled and all those years that you worked hard, they were not for nothing. Because eventually, when you do take that time off, all those things that you did, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. All those things that you did over the years finally come to fruition. And they start working for you so that you don't have to work. In a business, the more reliable people that you have, they are able to continue in running those businesses. And then you are delegating and you are managing from afar. So make sure that you have multiple things in life so that someday when you do take that time off, you can enjoy even the simplest things. All right, let's see what we got. We got one here. And then this one's definitely not open. We'll go ahead and try the method of here. Paola said, let's go ahead and twirl them or twist them. And I don't want to break them, so let's try it this way. And let's see, does it open up? All right, cool. This one was kind of broken, but anyways, in a couple days, it will open. This one is probably brown. A little brown, but like I said, not all of them will be perfect. I'm just trying to make some of them a little bit more presentable. And then when you mix up a whole bunch of them together, the imperfections of one, might not be seen as much. And with that, I just said, if you mix up enough of them, even the imperfections of one might not be seen enough or seen. So imagine if we were doing multiple things and I had 2 or 3, it doesn't have to be, business, but just avenues, 2 or 3 things that I was doing and I was trying to hustle and grind. Imagine if one didn't do so well, but they were mixed amongst many. And the others that brought beauty makes everything good, right? So with business or your investments or your savings or your job or, whatever you're doing, if you have multiple things to fall back on, when times are hard and one thing is not doing well, then maybe those other things keep you afloat during those hard times. But when everything is looking good, then you take some time off, and all those things that you put your time and effort, your blood, sweat, and tears, your time away from your family, all of that starts, paying off. And I'm not gonna say that it's a one-all be-all or a fix for everything. But even if, because there's always something that's gonna give. So just take a time, go out there, see a sunrise, see a sunset, just look at the beauty every once in a while. Look at the flicker of a candle burning. Things in life, if you don't take the time to notice it, if you don't take the time to inspect it, and all you do is expect, let me tell you, when hard times come, all those expectations, if they fall short, it's just going to disappoint you, stress you out. So, time is inevitable. Time will pass you by. So please, take the time to notice even the smaller things in life. That's my message to you, everyone. SofaKingdom76. Thank you for joining me today on this live. I'm out.